Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about military events in recent weeks. The incredible $30 million Ukrainian fighter jet strike that obliterated a high-value Russian base. This operation has sent shockwaves across defense circles, not just because of the scale of destruction, but also due to the precision, timing, and strategic implications it carries in the broader context of the war. So buckle up as we break down exactly what happened, how it was pulled off, and what it means for both sides moving forward. The story begins in the early hours of dawn when Ukrainian radar and satellite intelligence picked up unusual movements near a Russian logistics base deep within occupied territory. This wasn't an ordinary depot. It was a heavily fortified command and control center, storing ammunition, communication gear, and long-range missile systems. Intelligence suggested that several high-ranking Russian officers were on site, overseeing the deployment of air defense networks meant to counter Ukrainian drone and missile strikes. For Ukraine's military planners, this was the opportunity they had been waiting for. The aircraft chosen for the mission was one of Ukraine's recently upgraded fighter jets, valued at around $30 million, part of a modernization effort combining Western avionics and indigenous weapons technology. While Ukraine still operates older Soviet-era jets, this particular aircraft had undergone extensive retrofitting with advanced targeting pods, precision-guided munitions, and enhanced radar systems capable of striking with remarkable accuracy even under heavy jamming. The pilot, an experienced ace known by his call sign Falcon, had already earned a reputation for bold operations. The mission was meticulously planned. Ukrainian military intelligence worked in collaboration with Western reconnaissance satellites and real-time drone surveillance. Hours before the strike, a series of decoy drone attacks were launched in neighboring sectors to confuse Russian air defense systems. These unmanned aerial vehicles simulated incoming missile trajectories, forcing the Russians to activate their radar and reveal the exact location of their S-400 launchers. Once those coordinates were confirmed, the path was clear for the main attack. At precisely 3:45 a.m., Falcon took off from a concealed airstrip somewhere in central Ukraine. Flying at ultra-low altitude, he maintained radio silence, relying on terrain-following radar to avoid detection. The upgraded fighter carried a combination of long-range precision missiles and laser-guided bombs, weapons capable of destroying fortified bunkers. As he neared the target zone, Ukrainian electronic warfare units began jamming Russian communications, creating a temporary blackout in their defense grid. The attack unfolded in less than 2 minutes. The first missile hit the fuel storage area, triggering a massive explosion that illuminated the sky for miles. The second strike targeted the command bunker, where intelligence reports suggested senior Russian officers were coordinating air operations. Within seconds, secondary explosions erupted as stored ammunition detonated, sending fireballs and debris into the air. Satellite imagery later confirmed the near-total destruction of the facility. A smoldering crater where one of Russia's key operational hubs once stood. What made this operation remarkable was not just the destruction itself, but the precision and timing. Military analysts have noted that this strike marks a new level of sophistication for the Ukrainian Air Force. Over the course of the war, Ukraine has relied heavily on drones and surface-launched missiles, but direct air assaults like this one have been rare due to Russia's dense air defense network. This mission demonstrated that with the right combination of intelligence, deception, and technology, even heavily protected targets can be neutralized. Russian media initially denied the strike, claiming it was fake news, but within hours, footage began circulating online showing massive explosions near the reported location. Independent analysts verified the videos through geolocation techniques, confirming the authenticity. Satellite photos released the next day showed at least half a dozen destroyed buildings, several destroyed radar trucks, and large craters indicating the use of high-precision bombs. It was an embarrassing blow for Moscow, which had boasted about its impenetrable air defenses. Beyond the immediate military damage, the psychological impact was immense. The base served as a symbol of Russian control over the occupied region, and its destruction undermined morale among troops stationed nearby. Reports soon emerged that Russian forces began relocating key assets further from the front lines, fearing more surprise air raids. Ukrainian social media lit up with celebration, hailing the pilot as a national hero and the mission as proof that Ukraine's air power was far from crippled. On the geopolitical stage, this event also reignited discussions about Western support for Ukraine's air fleet. For months, Kyiv had been lobbying for advanced fighter jets from NATO allies, particularly the American-made F-16s. This successful strike proved that, even with older aircraft upgraded through international cooperation, Ukraine could achieve results once thought impossible. Analysts argue that if F-16s or similar jets were supplied in greater numbers, Ukraine's ability to carry out precision deep strike missions could shift the balance of power in the air war. Russian officials, meanwhile, vowed retaliation. The Kremlin accused Western countries of direct involvement in the operation, suggesting that NATO intelligence had guided the strike. However, no evidence has surfaced to support those claims. Instead, what the event revealed was a growing asymmetry in warfare, where smaller, agile forces using modern technology and superior tactics can outmaneuver a larger but slower opponent. The cost of the operation, estimated at around $30 million including the value of the aircraft and munitions, might seem enormous, but in strategic terms it was a bargain. The destruction of a single high-value base disrupted several Russian supply chains and delayed missile launches targeting Ukrainian cities. Moreover, it sent a powerful message. Ukraine retains the ability to strike back, even deep inside contested territory. Experts have noted that this operation may become a case study in modern warfare, a blend of traditional piloting skill and cutting-edge technology. It highlights how artificial intelligence, satellite coordination, and human expertise can work together to produce precise, devastating results. Some defense analysts even compared the strike's tactical brilliance to historical air raids like Israel's Operation Opera in 1981, where a single, well-executed mission changed the course of regional military dynamics. In the days that followed, Russian propaganda outlets struggled to maintain a consistent narrative. Some claimed the base was empty. Others alleged that the strike was carried out by Western pilots. Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the details. A deliberate move to keep the enemy guessing. But sources within the defense ministry hinted that this was part of a larger campaign aimed at dismantling Russia's forward operating infrastructure ahead of winter offensives. For the people of Ukraine, this victory carried symbolic weight. After months of enduring missile barrages and infrastructure attacks, seeing their forces strike back so effectively reignited a sense of national pride. Social networks were flooded with tributes to the Air Force and messages of gratitude to international allies who provided the technology behind the success. In Kyiv, citizens gathered in public squares waving flags, singing patriotic songs, and celebrating what they saw as proof that resilience and innovation can overcome overwhelming odds. On the battlefield, the consequences were immediate. Russian troops reportedly withdrew from several nearby positions, fearing follow-up strikes. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones soon spotted convoys relocating ammunition and vehicles further east, indicating panic and disarray. Military experts believe this disruption could give Ukraine a tactical window of opportunity to advance ground operations before Russia rebuilds its defenses. As the dust settles, questions remain about what comes next. Will this strike encourage further high-risk missions by the Ukrainian Air Force? Could it provoke a larger Russian counter-response? For now, what's clear is that this event marks a turning point, a demonstration of precision warfare at its finest, and a testament to Ukraine's growing capability to challenge one of the world's most formidable military powers. In the end, this wasn't just about one fighter jet or one explosion. It was about strategy, adaptation, and the will to fight back even when the odds seem insurmountable. The destruction of that high-value Russian base showed the world that Ukraine's spirit and ingenuity remain unbroken. It reminded everyone watching that wars are no longer won solely by numbers or hardware, but by intelligence, timing, and courage. That's all for today's breakdown of the $30 million Ukrainian fighter jet operation that stunned the world. If you found this analysis interesting, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more updates on the latest global military developments. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next deep dive into the stories shaping the modern battlefield.